Hi, my name is Alexia Clincy. I'm the founder and director of CapSoch Agency. CapSoch is a content marketing agency headquartered in Los Angeles that works with clients to develop out social media strategy as well as implementation. So, as you can imagine, I love social media. I'm probably just as addicted to it as you are, but I try to use it with intention. I try to be mindful with social media. So, that's what we're going to talk about today: social media mindfulness. Mindfulness is about being intentional with and paying attention to our actions. So, for example, when we think about meditation, a person is being mindful of sitting still. They may be mindful of their thoughts or their breathing in order to calm their bodies. A person who is a mindful speaker or who is mindful of what they say is somebody who thinks first and allows the words to come out clearly and with intention. We can be mindful in all areas of our life, and maybe we should. So, similarly, we can also use social media mindfully. All right, show of hands. How many of you pick up your phone all through the day without even really thinking about it? How many of you pull out your phone when you're in line at the grocery store? Or if you're like me, put on a show on Netflix just to pick up your phone and be on Google or Twitter the whole time? How many of you pick up your phone every time you're at a stoplight? It's nothing to be ashamed of. Most of us do it, and we've somewhat been conditioned to. Also, keep in mind that these apps are created to be addictive, and so that's their nature. But our goal is to have a healthier relationship with our devices and a healthier relationship with social media so that we're not losing ourselves in it. And let's clear some things up because at this point you might be asking, well, what's wrong with social media? I use it for my business, I make new friends, I always figure out the latest things happening because I'm online. All of that is true, and all of those are positive benefits to social media. But there can be some downsides as well. And one of those is that research shows that social rewards and social punishments feel the same online as offline. Your brain is processing all of this information as if it is physically happening to you. So let me break down what that means. That means you get the same physical boost, emotional, mental boost from walking down the street and somebody saying, "Girl, your hair looks good today." The same way as when you hop online and see that somebody commented on an Instagram post, "Hey, girl, your hair looks good today." Your body processes that the same way. Similarly, when you tweet something and nobody says anything, or if everybody gangs up on you online one day, or if somebody's like, "Oh, girl, why'd you have that shirt on?" It affects you physically in the same way as being ignored in real life or somebody saying something negative to you in real life. So, emotional pain can be just as painful, if not more. And it doesn't matter if it comes from the virtual world or not. Pair this with the fact that you're scrolling and scrolling and scrolling all day. And again, I'm not just talking to y'all because I do it too. Have you ever had times where you're scrolling and you just kind of like, why am I doing this? It's not just something you're looking at and not being affected by. I promise that you're going to start to feel a little different, and I dare say better, when you're more mindful of your social media use, when you're paying more attention to how you feel when you're on social media. But first, you have to be aware of it. Again, social media isn't the problem, and I'll make sure I keep reiterating that. But we do want to stop being on autopilot, and we do want to stop scrolling mindlessly. So here are some things that you can do to catch yourself and just to be more aware of how much you use social media. The first thing you can do is look at how much time you're spending on your phone. So if you have an iPhone, for example, you can slide over on the home screen and see, oh wow, I spent 70 hours last week on my phone. It'll tell you how much of that time is used on social media, and it'll even tell you how many times you pick up your phone. So, who in here spent the most time on social media last week? Who has the most pickups of their phone in the last week? And what do those numbers look like? You may be surprised. Another thing I want you to think about while you're using your phone is how you feel while you're scrolling. You're scrolling TikTok and laughing at all these funny videos. You're scrolling Twitter and maybe getting angry or feeling some kind of way. Are you scrolling through Instagram and start to feel jealous or like, dang, I'm not really doing anything with my life? How do you feel? Start catching that. Start being aware of what's going on in your mind while you're scrolling social media. If you're still using social media platforms and finding it hard to catch yourself or to be aware of it, here's one more tip, and you're really going to hate this one. I hated this when I did it. Rearrange the apps on your phone. You can move your social media icons to another page, another screen. into another box, whatever. However, you have your social media organized on your phone, rearrange it. Whether your favorite platform is TikTok or Twitter or whatever, your thumb is going to automatically go there and you're going to be mad every time opening up something else or realizing, like, oh, shoot, I'm doing this without thinking. I'm on autopilot. So when you rearrange your apps, it makes you have to be a little more intentional about going to find where is Instagram to open it. And it may be shocking to you how long it takes for you to readjust and then start to automatically go to the new place where you put it. But again, this will definitely bring some awareness to you and how you use these apps. All right, so at this point, you're like, Alexia, I get it. I use social media a lot. Cool. But now what? How can I actually practice mindfulness with social media? And it's called a practice because all we can do is keep at it, keep at it, keep at it. You're not going to wake up and just be like, huh, don't need social media anymore. That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, trust me. And I've tried it before. But how we can use it more responsibly is to practice mindful social media. So I want you to pay attention to these steps. Step 1, find a comfortable, alert, and ready position. Shrug your shoulders, take a deep breath, and think about emotionally and physically how you're feeling right now. Get in tune with yourself. Step number 2, open your computer or pick up your cell phone. But step number 3, before you actually open the social media app, check your intentions. Start to think about how you feel just looking at the app itself. And notice the experiences you're having in your mind and body. Sometimes I do literally start to feel a little tense in my chest, or I might start to feel a certain way when I'm logging into these apps. Step 4, we're still exploring. So you haven't opened up the app yet, but ask yourself, am I seeking to distract myself right now? Or am I looking to connect with others? What am I hoping to see here? What do I want to gain from this experience? Ask yourself how you're going to respond if what you see doesn't match your expectations. Really pay attention to why you are going to this app. So for me, I can look at TikTok and say, all right, I'm going to open TikTok because I want to see something that makes me laugh. But if I'm keeping it real with myself, I also want to see, how did my last video perform? Are people engaging with me? Do people like me? And now I'm starting to be a little bit more aware of the fact that, yes, I want to use this for entertainment, but also there is a bit of validation that I would like to get from it. And that's okay. Keep it real with yourself. That's what this is all about. Step 5, we're still not in the app yet. I know this is a process that is not something you're going to do every time you use social media. I probably should have said that from the beginning. This is something that we do intentionally and taking a moment and practicing as an exercise just to, again, make us aware of all of these feelings and thoughts that we skip right past every time we just pick up our phone and scroll, scroll, scroll. So we haven't opened up the app yet. Going back to our practice. So step 5, close your eyes. Focus on your emotional state before you've gone into anything. And take 3 deep breaths. Now open your eyes, go into the app, and focus on the first status, first tweet, first photo, first whatever it is that you see on your home feed. Then sit back and close your eyes again. What are the first things that come to mind? What emotions? Is it jealousy? Is it boredom? Is it happiness, joy? Is it intrigue? How do you experience this emotion in your mind and your body? And what's the urge that you have? Do you have the urge to read on? Or do you have the urge to click to the next thing, click away, or look into more detail? What is it that you feel like doing after reading or seeing that first post? Wait a moment or two for all of those sensations to fade. Think about what's going on around you in the environment, what you hear, your breathing, whatever it may be. But consciously take a moment after you've looked at just one post to center yourself and to think about how you feel and to let those feelings pass. And you only need to do this with one social media update or try it for 3 to 5 minutes, depending on how you want to practice. But the benefit of this is that you're checking in with yourself. What you'll notice is that because of this practice, other times when you go to pick your phone up or hop online, you pay more attention to how you feel. You're going to have a little bit more agency, feel a little bit more in control about your feed. So you may more quickly be like, you know what, this isn't really making me feel good right now. Let me click out. Or you may be like, I'm enjoying seeing these updates from my friends on how they're starting the new year. This is great. I'm wishing them the best. It may spark you to reach out to somebody. There's so many positive things that it can do, but for sure, it allows you to check in with you. And that's what being mindful is all about. I'm going to give you just a couple of more ways that you can kind of pay attention to social media use and perhaps kind of curb your social media use so you're not on autopilot. How many of you know that Instagram now has a take a break feature? You can actually set this feature so it can remind you to take a break after so much scrolling or so much time on the app. In China, their version of TikTok actually has a video that says, stop, go breathe, go touch grass. And we don't even have that here. So, again, keep in mind, like I said at the beginning, that these apps are created to take up your time. They are time sucks. They want you to spend time watching and watching and watching and watching. But we're not going to do that because we have our own lives to live too. So, try using those take a break features on some of these platforms. Similarly, you can also set within your phone time limits for yourself for any of your apps. You can set either amount of time that you want to spend on these apps every day, or you can set certain times of day that you're allowed to go into the apps. Now, don't worry because you can always circumvent them, right? They'll say, oh, you've reached your time limit. And I for sure be like, well, I still need another 15 minutes. But again, it makes you more aware and it helps you to curb the amount of time that you use scrolling. All right, this is my last tip. And this one is absolutely bonkers. It's ludicrous. And it's only going to be for the real diehard folks who's like, you know what? I want to do something different, or I really want to see how I'm being affected by social media. And that tip is to only use social media on your computer. This is easier for those who utilize social media for business, for example, but it allows you to treat social media more like a job or like, hey, there's a specific time that I'm looking at this. So you can do this by logging in to check what's going on, check your updates and what's new on the computer. And you can use programs like Sprout Social, programs like Later. There's so many programs now where you can schedule your content, set it to go out, and that's it. You don't have to pick up your phone all day when you only use social media on your computer. And when you hop on your computer, you know you're spending this time to specifically do what you need to do for your work, to think about what content you want to set to go out next week, to think about your plans and how you want to interact with people, comment, set up times to chat outside of social media, whatever it may be. But when you use your computer as the focus for social media, you're definitely going to notice that you spend much less time there. And of course, there's some things that you have to do on your phone. There's certain platforms and certain features that you have to be on your phone to use. But again, you're going to see a huge difference in how you feel about social media and the fact that you're in control of social and it's not in control of you. As you become more aware of the emotions that you're inviting into your day by logging into social media, you're going to start to make better decisions about how often you visit all of these sites. Again, there's a lot of science behind social media, and that research shows that the more you look at your feed, the more down you tend to feel. But the opposite is also true. The more you look at your own feeds, the better you tend to feel. So make sure that when you're online, you're not just looking at everybody else in their perfectly curated world, but that you're also revisiting your own tweets, your own photos, right? It reminds us of our own good times. It reminds us of how far we've come. When I look at some of my tweets from years ago and now, like, man, I'm not even dealing with some of this stuff anymore. Life is good. There's been some growth. There's great things that have been happening. And I'm really proud of that in that journey. So be sure that you do take time to pay attention to your own social media journey. Technology does not define us as much as they would like to. We don't fit into any little boxes or categories. We can't be reduced to a series of likes or interests. And examining and changing our own relationships with technology is important for our wellness, which is different than past generations and something that we also will need to pass on to future generations. So I hope that you were able to learn something today about mindfulness, about what it is, why it's important, and especially why it's important to be aware of how we use social media and how much we use social media. Don't be a zombie to TikTok and Instagram. Make time for social media, but also make time to do other things. Make time to connect with people offline. And know that you're going to be a healthier person for it when you use social media with intention. Again, my name is Alexia Clincy. You can find me on LinkedIn if you look me up. And you can visit capsochagency.com to learn more about Capsoch and what we're doing to help our clients tell their story and grow their businesses through social media.